I went to a local sports card convention and found comics. Not just any comics, but some Silver and Gold Age Grail bombs. What did I come back with? Okay, I was not planning on going to the Nashville Sports Card and Collectible Show this weekend because it was all sports cards and it's been 30 years since I've collected football and baseball cards. But a friend of mine in the community sent me a text with a picture and said, here's a guy with some comics. And they weren't just any comics, they were Golden Age and Silver Age Grails and just some amazing books that I haven't seen at even some of the Comic Cons around here, let alone any of the LCSs. And so I, of course, headed up just to see what he had. He mentioned that some of the books looked like they had some CPR, clean press, and resubmit potential. And so I thought, well, let's just go see what there is. Wasn't sure if I was going to come back with anything, but I thought, why not? It's about a 30-minute drive to get to Nashville, Tennessee from where I live. So I went up, and there was definitely a lot of great books. Probably the coolest of which is this book here, this Captain America #3 and a 9.4 restored, but just an amazing book to see. That kind of book signed by Stan Lee. And so there was that, and then there was some of the books that I didn't bring back. X-Men 1 Raw, Daredevil 1 Raw. There was a Fantastic Four 1 slab, which I did not bring back. But I did bring back some of the other books and some really cool ones, including one at the end that I think has a potential to upgrade my collection, which is behind me here. So let's see what I came back with, and then I'll tell you what my plan is with each one of these 5 books that I got. Okay, so I just had an Instagram live sale. I sold a bunch of books a couple days before this sports card convention, and so I had a little bit of cash I was going to put back into trying to upgrade some of my collection and then just add value. And so I sell comics so that I can buy comics. So that's one of the ways I make the hobby pay for itself. Here's what I got, and I'll go over each of the book and then kind of what my plan is for each. First of all, I got a Fantastic Four #12 in a slab, a 2.5 off-white to white pages. This is the first crossover, Marvel crossover book ever. The Hulk crossing into Fantastic Four. Somewhat of a key, and I just love it because there's a lot of great thing Hulk covers that come after this, but this is the first one, Fantastic Four #12. This one looks like it's got a wave and it might have some press potential, but it doesn't look like it would go above a 3.0, so I probably will just keep this one in a slab, and maybe it'll show up in one of my sales in the future. Next, I got a really big key these days. This is Fantastic Four #4, first Submariner in the Silver Age, and this one's in a 3.5. This is an older slab, and it does have some upgrade. It definitely has some things that look like it can be cleaned. I don't know if you can see on the back. I'm not sure if that'll show up, but anyway, it has some clean potential and maybe a press, and it just looks really solid for a 3.5. So I like to think I could get that to a 4.0. I don't know if I've ever cracked a slab this big, but I think I'm going to try it. So stay tuned for a video where I'll show you how that looks afterwards, and then when I get it back from CGC, hopefully it's not a lower grade. Next, he had some raw books, and everything he had was big. Of course, this one's one of my favorites. First Silver Surfer, first cameo of Galactus, Fantastic Four 48. He had this price as if it were like a 3.5, 4.0. Even as is, I think it's fairly conservative, and he allowed me to open it up and go through and make sure everything was complete. And so I felt really good about that. And this is one that will be going off to CGC again after I go through and clean it up and give it a little press. This is a book I've never owned. I'm not a Spider-Man collector. I've had a few of my favorite covers, but I've never owned this one. Amazing Spider-Man #50, classic John Romita cover. Of course, first appearance of Kingpin. This is a mid-grade copy. He had it priced as if it were like a 4.0. I am definitely going to be cleaning this and sending this off. I've always wanted this book, but again, I'm not an ASM collector, so I don't put a lot into that, but I've always wanted to have this cover. I also like issue 34, which I do have. All right, the biggest book of all, mostly because of the grade, Fantastic Four #2. The second Fantastic Four, obviously. They do not have their costumes yet. It's also the last Marvel book that is a 10-center. So again, 10 cents. First appearance of the Skrulls. You know, we'll see them in their show or Secret Invasion. But the biggest thing for me is I have this book in a 4.0, and I am fairly confident, because I was able to hold it side by side, that this book should be able to grade more. And he allowed me to go through it. The pages look like they're off-white to white. The back looks great. So I was able to flip through the whole book while I was at the show. And then I came home and I've just compared it. This is my 4.0. But I don't know if you can see how much better the cover, the brightness is. It's hard to see that, but the colors pop. The spine is much cleaner on this one. So if I get this back in a 4.5, based on what I paid for it, it's worth it. I paid $2,700. This was the big one for this book. GPA on a 4.0 is around the 3,000 range. And so if I get a 4.5, I think it's going to be a 5.0 or better. If that happens, I'll just be selling my lower grade copy. That was the big purchase. I did not think that I would see these kinds of books at a card show. You never know. Thanks to my friend for sending me the text, early on a Saturday morning and being able to go up there and running and get this book and get some great books. A lot of fun. We don't have a lot of great conventions that have big books here in the Middle Tennessee area, so just a great find. The Fantastic Four #1 that I did not buy, it was a 2.5. It was a fair price. If I can clean these up and sell them, I contacted him after the show and he did not sell it. If he still has it, and I've made some money off of these books, then you never know. I might try to grab that one too. Don't think I'll be cracking that one to try to get an upgrade, but it's a lot of fun. You never know what you're going to find. It's amazing how sometimes I spend a lot of money and travel and go to these big conventions and I don't find books with this much potential at these prices. And so I think it's a great time to buy, especially if you're trying to upgrade your collection. Now's the time, to maybe get that upgrade, get that book at a good price. I appreciate you watching this, and I'll do some more videos when I show the before and afters of my clean and press, and definitely when I get books back from CGC. See you on the next video.